One of the more tragic characters in the entire Boysverse has to be Sam Riordan. This guy was a myth in Season 1 because pretty much no one even knew that he existed. Even his own brother was forced to think that Sam was dead, and that's because Sam was one of the subjects that the Woods was experimenting. After regaining his freedom, it felt like Sam was going on a redemption arc, but we all know how that turned. Right now, he's a soup supremacist and an affiliate of Homelander's racist iteration of the Seven, and that's really dangerous because of Sam's powers. He might just be a top 5 soup thanks to his sheer strength, and in this video, we'll explore all that and more as we break down his anatomy. So, without further ado, this is the anatomy of Sam from Gen V. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves though, we do have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to the channel. It's a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Oh God, no, no.
His punches go through people. Sam's inhuman strength and durability. Sam's main superpower is his incredible physical strength. In fact, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Sam is one of the most powerful soups in the entire franchise, thanks to his raw strength. When we first saw Sam's abilities in full effect, we became terrified of him because this dude packs a punch so hard he can blow through a human skull easy. Sam killed several guards protecting the Woods with such brutal efficiency that you'd think he was trained in combat, but he isn't. He's just so strong that he makes everyone else look like straw dolls by comparison, and it's not an exaggeration to say that he can rip out a human spine without the human even being aware of it. Sam has broken walls, punched through metal gates, and done all kinds of things we've only seen 2 other characters do in the series. The first is Homelander, and the second is Soldier Boy. That's right, folks. This man, whose mind is collapsing because of the trauma he's put through, has the potential to be as powerful as the 2 strongest guys in the series, and the proof is in the pudding. Sam is bulletproof like Homelander. When Vought and Godolkin sent their agents to recapture him and return him to the Woods, he takes out their entire elite death squad equipped with soup-disabling gear in the blink of an eye. That particular massacre is so gory that the show depicted it as a puppet fight, because otherwise, we'd just see a trail of blood and guts on our screens. Gen V outright tells us that Sam is more powerful than Golden Boy, and Golden Boy was supposed to be the most powerful soup in all of God U. I mean, Golden Boy could fly, and he had the ability to use heat vision, which is similar to, but not quite the same as Homelander's powers. He's more like Johnny Storm with super strength, and they had to make a special suit that was tailored to contain his body heat just to get him into the Seven. But Sam, despite not having either heat vision or flight, is still stronger than his brother, which says a lot about him. Kimiko is one of the physically strongest soups we've seen, and when she was introduced, we saw that she could peel people's skin off their flesh and bone. Unlike Sam, she'd actually been trained in combat and killing. In fact, when that Girls Get It Done sequence played out, Kimiko was one of the main reasons Stormfront lost because her raw strength overpowered Stormfront's electricity manipulation. We saw that 2 punches from Kimiko made her bleed from her mouth, and yes, Stormfront was outnumbered in that fight, but making her bleed is no easy feat. Recall that this is the same woman who asked Homelander to laser her bosom because she just wanted to feel the pain. So, Stormfront's masochistic tendencies make her quite resilient in her own way. But when Kimiko punched Sam at the end of The Boys Season 4, he remained unfazed, which tells us he's a lot stronger than her as well. Usually, Kimiko's punches have at least some sort of effect on her enemies, whether they're human or soup, but with Sam, it was like she was punching an iron wall. He ate her blow for breakfast and held her back while Kate went to work on Frenchie, and that's a massive accomplishment. Only the original 7 could have performed such a feat, which means that technically, Sam's already on their level. He can take unreal amounts of punishment, which is evident from the fact that he got multiple spinal injections and remained exactly the same. He felt the pain, sure, but physically it didn't affect him at all. That's quite similar to Homelander and Soldier Boy, whom were tortured extensively at different points in their life and emerged unscathed from said torture. Maybe that's why Sam immediately shot up to the top of the student rankings at God U, because he might not be all there, but whatever part of him is there is really effing strong. In terms of pure physicality, he's easily top 5 in the Boysverse, and super strength isn't his only game. He can jump as far as Queen May, Sam's leaping ability. Because of the many wild directions a soup's powers can take, it's difficult to find people that are decent all-rounders in this universe. Heck, Starlight only unlocked flight in the last season of The Boys, and she was drafted to the Seven long before that. There are only a handful of Supes whose powers don't come with drawbacks, and Sam happens to be one of them. You'd think that having insane strength would be offset by reduced speed or something, but that isn't exactly the case. Sam can cover great distances if he just channels his strength the right way, which he usually does. This ability of his is quite similar to Queen Maeve's, because Maeve can't fly, but she sure as hell can leap over multiple city blocks to get to where she needs to be. She accomplishes this by using the tension produced by her clenched leg muscles to propel herself as far as needed, and Sam does pretty much the same thing. In fact, Sam's leaping might just be stronger than Maeve's, because unlike her, he leaves massive craters in his wake. That can be chalked up to Sam having lesser control over his powers, given his fragile mental state, but we think that it's actually the fact that his strength output is far superior to Maeve's. He was able to escape Vought and Godolkin's satellite and surveillance teams by basically outjumping them, and that's crazy talk if you ask us. This ability could prove lethal in a proper battle, because if you combine super strength with impact, then you basically get an unstoppable death drop and can cause an instant kill. Let's imagine this for a second. You're fighting Sam, and for some reason, you can tank his punches and kicks no problem, but then he decides to jump into the sky, so high that you can't see him anymore, and he comes down on you like a hammer at the speed of light. He can basically emulate the power of a meteor impact if he wants to, and Supes might be capable of going through a lot of things, but surviving meteor impacts definitely isn't one of them. Sam's escape strategy can become one of his strongest finishing moves, because unlike most others, he doesn't have to worry about what happens to him when he's up in the air. He has near invulnerable skin, and he's strong enough to tear down buildings and planes. Even if he accidentally got into the path of a flight, he'd either rip through it or zip past it, but nothing would affect him, not even the blast that would become inevitable should the former occur. So, while Sam's powers are simple in theory, their applications are endless, and that makes him one of the most formidable people in the Boysverse by default. If he had even a decent degree of control over his own mind, he'd have been a true menace to the world. Perhaps that's where the silver lining lies with his character. Sam might have all this power, but he only uses it for two reasons: to protect himself and to ensure that he doesn't lose the support of the people he wants to keep around him. If he goes on a rampage, he won't be any better than Homelander at his worst. What separates him and Homie is the fact that Sam at least has a weakness that can be exploited. It's sad that it's a part of his anatomy, but it's also a blessing in disguise, because there's no telling what he would have done if he was in control of himself and still doing what he's been doing.
You saw us on TV or TikTok or something?
Tick-tock?
He has an impressive memory, but his mind is broken. Sam's weakness. The biggest anatomical issue with Sam is the fact that his mind isn't all there. Sam comes from a family with a history of schizophrenia. In fact, his brother Luke thought he was experiencing schizophrenic symptoms when he started breaking out of Kate's false reality, but that wasn't the case. Luke was being subjected to the full weight of all of his repressed memories at the same time, and because Kate wiped him several times, all that suppressed mental energy finally exploded when Luke didn't get his quote-unquote regular dose. This was also done to Sam, but unlike his brother, Sam had already developed neural problems. Now sure, that doesn't mean Sam isn't intelligent. Heck, he memorized every password that was used to move between spaces in the woods, and those passwords are changed constantly. He broke out of that facility not once, but multiple times, and even though he's basically indestructible, Sam isn't infallible. Extreme electrocution and the use of chemical agents like the sleeping gas halothane or the Russian nerve agent Novichok can knock him out like a human. They won't be as lethal to him as his own mind might. In Season 1, we realized that when Sam wasn't being calmed down with a superpower, his reality looked like his favorite puppet-based TV show day. Everyone was a puppet. He even had conversations with people who weren't exactly there. Sam admits in Season 2 that he talks to his brother all the time in his head. Though Luke never talks back, Sam feels good about it because at least he gets to vent. When he's under the influence of things like drugs and Kate's pushing, the world is normal to him. Human faces seem human, and no one is talking funny, and there's no background music. When he doesn't get that push, Sam breaks hard, and that's when he's at his most vulnerable. Gen V Season 2 revealed to us that Kate had continued wiping Sam's memories, especially after the jobs they do for Homelander, because of the amount of killing in Season 1 would have killed her for it. But in Season 2, he welcomes Kate's pushes because he actively wants to forget things. There's this one moment where Kate is released from the hospital after suffering massive brain damage, and Sam begs her to wipe his mind again because all he wants is to feel nothing. His emotional regulator is broken. When he starts regaining memories and normal human feelings, he starts going crazy. It was downright depressing to see him talk about feeling nothing as being an awesome thing. The only person who seems to have been able to figure out how to keep Sam tranquil without the memory wipes is Jordan Lee, who did the one thing no one else has done for him: treat him like a normal person. In Gen V Season 2, Episode 3, we see Sam and Jordan about to go at it because the former is tweaking, but then they end up in Sam's dorm room and watch his favorite childhood cartoon while sharing a bowl of green. Sam confesses to Jordan that he doesn't want to do the things he does. He feels like he has no choice because it's all he's ever known. His time as a research project has deeply scarred him, and he's become reliant on Kate for wiping his mind whenever something bad happens. In truth, he just wants to be reunited with his brother. After talking to Jordan, Sam starts feeling fine. He doesn't seem to care that he sees things as puppets anymore, because Jordan accepts him as he is, and that's the first time anyone has done that. Even Emma, who helped him escape, judged him for being a violent supremacist when he started espousing those ideals, but Jordan basically forgave Sam, understanding that no one in his position would make decisions with the right frame of mind. Sadly, it's this fragmented mind of his that's kept Sam in the clutches of evil people because he has become a dependent personality. Sure, his newfound friendship with Jordan might lead to his salvation, but what happens if Jordan dies? Or if Kate disappears before resetting him? He will need another figure to control him, and if that figure ends up being someone like Cypher, then the whole world can kiss itself goodbye. Sam's schizophrenia is the curse that's keeping him from doing the right thing, because he's afraid of even getting better. He would rather medicate and deal with the fact that he has problems and create a support system to protect himself, and that can be easily exploited by someone like Billy Butcher. All Butcher needs to do is pretend to give a crap about him, and Sam will do basically anything. That's what Kate's been doing so far, and it seems to be working. Sam probably doesn't know that she was involved in his brother's death, and if he does, he doesn't care, because Kate's powers are the only thing that make him feel normal, even if it only lasts for a few hours. So, besides targeting his super hearing with a special device or killing him with a virus, becoming Sam's friend is the biggest weakness you can take advantage of, because that's what he feels he needs the most. It's ironic that one of the strongest people on planet Earth can't operate independently because of his mental health issues, and that makes Sam more like Homelander than Ryan. As much as he hates admitting it, what Homelander wants most is love. He's even had a quasi-schizophrenic episode of his own when he spoke to himself in the mirror. These two overpowered, abandoned, abused children can destroy the world if they want to, but they don't do it because their craving for love and acceptance is much higher. That's the only thing that's keeping people alive in the Boysverse, because if Sam or Homelander just kill everyone, then who will be left to give them the companionship they need? Nobody, and that's when the real problem begins.
What would you do if you had to see the person who tried to kill you and left you for dead every day?
Marvelous verdict! But as for this video, I'm afraid that's all we got for you guys. Let us know your thoughts on Sam's anatomy and whether we missed covering something down in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Gen V content injected directly into your newsfeed. We'll see you guys soon with another soup-based video, so until then, stay safe, and if your friends turn into the cast of the Muppets when you blink, get yourself to a neurologist as soon as possible. See you next time.